Am I the a-hole for not being another person who begs my niece to let her dad off the hook for leaving her mom for someone else? My brother left his ex-wife, the mother of his daughter, 16, for a woman he developed feelings for. This all went down a year ago. Now he's divorced from his daughter's mom and married to the woman he left her for. My niece has not taken it well. She hates her dad for leaving for someone else. About 5 months ago, she told him she will never accept his current wife. She will always hate her, and she will disrespect their relationship. She said there's nothing he can say or do to convince her otherwise. She told him she doesn't care if she chases his wife off or if she loses him in the process. They will never be a family, and he can beg, plead, and spend all his money trying to make it work, but she will never give in. When my brother couldn't get my niece to have a change of heart, he told our family and had our parents and the rest of our siblings talk to her about it, which they all did. They all tried to make her have grace for my brother, to forgive her dad and or to see it as none of her business. They said she shouldn't take any of this out on his new wife, and she shouldn't lose her father over him falling in love. They even tried telling her that his new wife wouldn't do anything until he left her mom, but she didn't care and told them so. She said she's glad she's making them both miserable and that they deserve to be miserable. She said her dad isn't a good person and she doesn't have grace for him. She's asked everyone if they would be encouraging the same thing if her mom had left her dad for someone else. Of course, no one touched that question, because of course they wouldn't. They know it too. Nobody has been able to change her mind or soften her toward my brother and his wife. I'm the only person who hasn't tried, and I have been asked to several times already. But I refuse. I told them I don't agree with pushing her, and I want to keep a strong relationship with my niece. Everyone else has destroyed their relationship with her by pressing her to forgive. My brother told me this is about saving his relationship with his daughter, and that's more of a priority than my relationship with her. I held my stance then, even when my parents told me she needs us to try, because she deserves a good relationship with all 3 of her parents, especially her dad, who is always an amazing father. Other siblings have said I'm her favorite, that I'm the uncle she turns to the most, because I'm the youngest and closer in age to her than to most of my siblings. I still refuse to take part in it, and they said I need to really think about all the harm being done here, which I think is not on me at all. But perhaps others will say differently, hence my post. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. All 3 parents? She has 2 parents. Shaking my head. He has no right to say his relationship with her is more valuable than yours. If it meant so much to him, then he wouldn't have screwed it up. If you push her, then she will pull away from you, and maybe that's what he wants. Please don't give in. Not the a-hole. That was something I rolled my eyes at so hard when they were saying it. To call my brother's wife one of my niece's parents after such a small amount of time and everything that happened is so crazy. But they really are deluding themselves that all of them will be a happy little family someday. The first thing I want to say is this. Your brother's daughter's response to your family was powerful and well thought out. I honestly didn't expect that from her, but she showed a lot of clarity and conviction. She did nothing wrong. She has every right to feel the way she does and to see the situation from her own perspective, even if she's a teenager. You say you want to maintain your relationship with her, and I respect that. But let me ask you something, brother to brother. Did you actually approve of what your brother did? And if it had been her mother who had done the same thing, would you still be pushing her to forgive and rebuild her relationship? I never approved of what he did. I thought he went about it incredibly deceptively because he didn't just tell his ex-wife he wanted to divorce and then reach out to his now wife. He only left because he had a shot with his now wife, and she wouldn't do anything before he left. It would be awful to find out at some point that the only reason you're still married is because the person they really wanted didn't want them yet. And he admits he hadn't loved his ex-wife in years. So I don't condone his actions, and I have never pushed for them to have a relationship. I believe my niece has the right to feel as she does. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad and his wife I will be going no contact with them when I leave? I'm 17 male, but when I was younger and my brothers were born, 10, 7, and 4, they got away with everything. Breaking my stuff, stealing my snacks. going through my iPad, intentionally pouring water on my PlayStation, etc. I had enough, so when I was 15, my grandparents bought me a lock pad for my birthday. My dad was like, "Why didn't you get something he would want?" Little did he know, that's exactly what I wanted. My grandpa installed it when my dad wasn't home, and I'm the only one who knows the password. My siblings can't get in, so they'll slide stuff under my door like pens, toys, books, toilet paper, and they'll make a mess doing it. My stepmom and my dad just say they want my attention and want to play. I don't want to play with them. After them stealing my stuff and not being disciplined, I started resenting them. I then found out a way to stay away from them all day, school and a job. I tried out for football. I made it in, so now after school, I have practice and don't have to go home and see them. If I don't have football, I'm an FBLA and I'm a leader, so I have obligations to be at meetings. Once more, I don't have to see my siblings. I go home, take a shower, get dressed, drive to work 5 hours, come home. And it's usually 10:25 p.m., an hour past their bedtime, so they're in bed. I take another shower, make a healthy meal, usually a salad or a lettuce Caesar chicken wrap, talk to my girlfriend, and sleep. A successful day of staying away from my siblings. I only see them during breakfast for a few minutes. I usually come back down after my workout and shower, say good morning, grab a granola bar or fruit, and I'm out the door. 3 to 5 minutes around them. That's my only interaction for the day. My counselor talks to all the students at the beginning of the year. He asked me what my plan was after high school, and I was straightforward with him. Go to University of Georgia. Get my own apartment. Go no contact with my family. Start a personal fitness program. Settle down. Get married. Have 2 to 3 kids. Live my best life. Go through hell and hardships, since it comes with living. Die. Hopefully meet Jesus. Done. Life list over. My counselor told my parents, and they asked why I would cut off my family. I said, not pops and grandma, and my dad said he's done trying to freaking parent me. My uncles found out and said I was a prick. Am I the a-hole? I think not. You've got to do what you have to do. I would be upset at your counselor for telling what you thought was a private conversation. Yeah, I'm supposed to report him because it's against the guidelines at my school. I'd love to know if the 4-year-old currently gets away with the same nonsense against the 10-year-old that the 10-year-old used to do to you. Does he have the same rules you had when he was born? Is he just treated differently? No, they all get away with everything. They literally do this stuff together. Not the a-hole. Plan your exit strategy well. You will need a source of income and a roof over your head. The military may be an option. Training, roof, money, career. Otherwise, research and save all the money you can. Your family sounds awful. I wish you luck. Next story. Am I the a-hole for making my dad's wife feel uncomfortable because I told her she's not my mom or my parent just because she married him? My dad was a single dad by choice. A friend donated her eggs, and he used a surrogate who was another friend to have me, 25 male. So I never had a mom. I have someone who donated their eggs and another who carried me, but I was never their son. I only ever had a dad, and he didn't date or have any relationship until I was 20. He met his wife when I was 22, and he married her a few months ago. She's a widow with 5 kids of her own, but ever since they moved in together, she's called me her son and said things like, I finally have a mother, and you'll get the benefit of 2 parents in your life now. For the most part, she seems okay, but I did not like her talking like that. I gently tried to let her know that I appreciated her being there for Dad and that it was nice to know he wasn't on his own anymore, but she's just his wife. She would text or call me and ask why I didn't come for Mother's Day, a day I don't celebrate, or why I never came to see her or looked for advice from her. She was upset when I introduced my girlfriend to Dad while she was out of state visiting one of her kids. She even said it was meant to be a meet the parents, and I told her my girlfriend met my parent. My girlfriend and I have talked about marriage and kids. My dad and his wife know about it. His wife then mentioned how she hoped all 6 of her kids would give her a mother dance, and it wouldn't all be brides and their dads and nothing else. I told my dad it was like she was ignoring my gentle attempts to let her know she wasn't my mom but his wife. And he said he tried talking to her too, but she just had so much love, etc. So I decided to be blunter. I told her that I appreciated she was trying to be loving and supportive, but she's not my mom or my parent just because she married dad. And I emphasized that I have one parent, and there will be no mother at my wedding when the day comes. She's uncomfortable now and her feelings are hurt. Dad told me I could have embraced the love she offered and tried to keep things easy. I told him they weren't easy, and it was weird for her to push this when I never lived with her. And she has no say or influence in my life. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. You don't see her as your mother. End of story. She shouldn't push those feelings toward you just because she felt like she's your mother when you tried to tell her you don't feel that way. She had very high expectations too, which were clearly not going to be made more realistic with me being gentle. Gentle was very easy for her to ignore. I'm sorry, but your father caused this. He needed to be more honest and blunt with her, and it was on him to rectify it. He knew what she was like, and it seems he expected you to roll over and go with it, so he wouldn't have to have an uncomfortable conversation with her. It's now time to have an honest conversation with him. That is inaction, and her inability to adhere to your boundaries led to this. In your 20s, you're not looking for a mother figure, and it's unhinged to force it on you. He did. He should have put an end to it and been the one to do what I did, since it was clear she wasn't going to listen to me. The whole thing was frustrating the whole way through, and it feels like it's still not over. Next story. Am I the a-hole if I gave my best friend's kids a different life-changing amount of money? I, 37 female, recently received a life-changing amount of money. I haven't told my best friend, 37 female, yet that she and her 2 kids, 12 and 2, will each be gifted a life-changing amount of money in an irrevocable trust. Here is where it gets a bit sticky. I want to give 12 female $2.5 million and the 2-year-old $1.5 million. The reason I want to do this is because I helped raise 12 female when she was little, and I still have her with me every school vacation. She genuinely feels like she is my child. She calls me mom, and there is no difference between her and my own children. It's the exact same amount of love. She was abused when she was younger, which has resulted in several mental health issues. Her therapist has said it may be difficult for her to live a normal life, and she will likely need lifelong therapy. The 2-year-old has his dad in his life. 12 females' dad OD'd. His dad is a lifer in the military, and he is very blessed with new clothing, toys, etc. 12 female is not. He is set up better in life. It is what it is. I grew up as the black sheep of the family and did not get the same opportunities my siblings did, which has had lifelong ramifications. I look at 12 female's life and can't help but see her childhood shaping up to be like mine, and I don't want that. While I can't change her situation, I can give her money to help her future. Money is a tool after all. My concern is how my friend will take this. In her eyes, they are both her children, and they are treated equally. I don't want her to see the discrepancy in the amount and think I don't love her son as much, or that I see him as lesser than his sister. I don't. But I am more invested in the daughter, and my motherly instinct is to provide for and protect her. In addition to this is a gift. This is of my own free will, so why can't I do this? So Reddit, am I the a-hole? 2-year-old will get more money because of the interest over an additional 10 years in a trust fund. 12-year-old will use the money earlier, so it will accumulate less interest. This is math, not emotion. Not the a-hole. This is how it should be explained. It should be about the math, not the emotions. And have the math ready to show your work. Also, the fact that the son will potentially have other money to inherit from his father's side. Set up the trusts for the kids without telling them or her the amounts, or even that they have the trusts. Money changes people, but if you truly want this for their future, do it quietly. Came here to say this. You can put an explanation on your will if you think you must, but it's not necessary. Not the a-hole. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not buying personal care products for my stepsister? My stepmother is super into all natural things, so she uses only all natural things. I don't even mean products that are labeled at the store as all natural. I mean she will actually make her own deodorant from natural ingredients. She also only uses natural remedies for things unless absolutely necessary. And she's anti-shaving because she believes our bodies are supposed to have hair. Thankfully, she doesn't force this stuff on my brother, 18 male, and me, 16 female, and we can use our own toiletries. This is because my dad and she have an agreement to not interfere with each other's kids. The only thing we kind of have to have is the vegan, all-natural foods only, which aren't actually that bad. Most of the time, I don't eat breakfast anyway, and my brother and I will sometimes go out for lunch, and during the school year, we also buy lunch and sometimes sneak in snacks. So it's really only dinner, which isn't that bad. It's different for our stepsister, 13 female. She is absolutely not allowed to use any chemicals at all. That wasn't too much of a problem before, or at least I didn't know if she complained about it. Now she started getting acne, and she hates it. Her mom keeps trying only natural remedies that don't work and thinks chemicals will just do more harm than good since it's not that bad. There are also other things my stepsister hates, like having to use natural deodorant, and she wants to use tampons instead because she hates feeling wet when she has her period. Her hair is also not really good and feels crispy even if she uses oil on it. She also wants to shave because she gets made fun of for having hairy legs. Because of the situation with our stepmother, our dad sends my brother and me money to our accounts for things like toiletries. He also gives us an allowance. My stepsister doesn't get an allowance, but she knows about the money we get and asked me if I can buy her some acne stuff, some hair products, razors, and tampons. That stuff all adds up though, and I don't want to spend so much of my money on it because then I won't have as much for stuff I want. I already use up all my toiletry money every month on stuff I need, so it would have to come out of my allowance and would probably use it all up. Edit. Because people keep bringing it up, she's already talked to her mom about it a bunch and even asked my dad for money. Stepmom is still not willing to get her these things, and my dad refuses to get involved. Not the a-hole. It's not your responsibility to provide for your stepsister. You don't mention her father in the post. Is he not in the picture at all? That would be the most reasonable next step to handle this situation, since your dad and stepmom have the agreement to not parent each other's kids. The other option I see would be to have a heart-to-heart with your dad about your concern for your stepsister. It might be a good idea for all of you to come together as a family in support of your stepsister. Without attacking your stepmom, of course. The teenage years are freaking brutal, and acne, deodorant that probably doesn't work, which leads to body odor, and body hair are huge sources of bullying. Maybe if you all kindly point out the situation from your stepsister's point of view to your stepmom, she might have a change of heart and be willing to find some kind of middle ground. My dad and stepmom both know how she feels. My dad is not willing to get involved at all. My stepmom just tries to say some stupid stuff about it all being natural and the way our bodies should be. Where is her biological father? He should be raising hell about this and providing what his child needs. He doesn't come around much.